A lot of marketing sales leaders are perplexed as to why their sellers are not sharing new, rich insights with their customers. You'll build out content libraries, you'll buy an employee advocacy tool, and you're still absolutely lost. Why isn't it happening? So I'm going to show you how you do an audit, a role-based audit. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to bring a sales leader into a room, or you could always give them a call and you do it virtually. If you do it virtually, record it so that you can start collecting this information as well, so that you have kind of empirical evidence to show the marketing team. Because the marketing team is going to say to themselves, no, we've designed an incredible CMS or content library, or our employee advocacy tool is great. And in fact, it's not. We need to make it sales-centric. So let's go through this audit together. So I'm going to do this role. I'm going to be the leader on one side. So this is going to be leader Jamie, and this is going to be sales professional Jamie. Okay, so leader Jamie is going to call in a sales professional into the office and say, okay, here's what I'd like you to do. Using your computer right now, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to give you an example. You just got off the phone with this IT leader, and the IT leader talked about how they believe that the migration from on-prem to cloud would be too cumbersome for a multi-geo-locationed business or multinational location business. After you got off the phone, you thought to yourself, let me think. I actually think we have a great insight that we could share with that customer to kind of push them off their status quo or debunk the myth of what they're saying. So what I'd like you to do, seller, do you mind sharing a piece of insights? Show me how you would find a piece of insight and share that content with a customer. Okay, so seller starts to kind of panic at this point. Now I want you to start a stopwatch. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Now I start a stopwatch, and you're going to watch the seller kind of fumble around, try to find your CMS, your content library, your employee advocacy tool. If they can't find this within 1 minute, there in fact lies a problem. So the problem isn't that the seller necessarily doesn't see value in sharing content, it's that they don't know where to find content. And you might be laughing to yourself and you think, my sales team knows where to find content. You know what? I probably speak at 30 to 40 events a year. And all the time I ask the audience, what percentage of your sellers, or what percentage of you, the sellers in the room, have never been to the company's blog or ever been in your company's content marketing library? And you know what? I would say about 25% of sellers never been on your blog, never been in your content library, don't even know where to find it. So the first part of this audit is you've discovered that you haven't educated the team on where to find the content. Now let's go to the second piece to this role-based scenario. Okay, leader. So, okay, I understand, Johnny, that you weren't able to find the content library. What we'll do, let's actually toggle over to resources right now as an example. And let me show you and quickly talk to you a little bit about resources. Now, let's redo that scenario. Again, you just got off the phone with an IT leader. Here's what they said. Now, inside the content library that you know about, do you mind taking a moment and finding me a great insight that can debunk the myth of what they talked about? Now, again, stopwatch, 1 minute, click. If the seller cannot find an insight within 1 minute inside your own content library, and you're showing them even how it works, now all of a sudden you have another problem. And that other problem is you have not designed a content library that is sales-centric. You haven't designed it, as an example, to be able to look by asset type. Or perhaps you haven't designed it to be role-based. So the biggest problem is it doesn't think like the mind of a seller. A seller is going to think about the sales process or buying journey, if they think that way. They're going to think about the type. So you've got buying journey, you've got assets by type of buyer persona, you've got asset types. You should, as a sales professional, be able to say, okay, IT leader, I got to find leadership content. I'm at this stage in the sales cycle. What type of asset should I use? How do I grab it? How do I share it? If they can't figure that out in 1 minute, you have another problem, and that is you have not designed a platform that thinks like a seller. This is a great tip. This is Monday. You're on your one-on-ones. You as a sales leader or marketing leader, this is something you could do today to audit the sellers as to why they're not sharing content. It's because they don't know where to find it and they don't know how to use it. I hope this helps.